Welcome to this BVTV Spotcast, coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision, and I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. Now, this is number 3 in a trilogy of Spotcasts with my guest, the expert in creativity and innovation. He's Dr. Roger Firestien. Welcome, Roger.
Thank you. Welcome.
It's our last one. It's our last
one, right? Don't
last one. So let's give it a humdinger. Across the previous 2 episodes of your trilogy, we've looked at these 2 books of yours. This one here, Create in a Flash, and of course this one here, Why Didn't I Think of That? Yeah. Now, in our 3rd and final episode of the trilogy, I want to talk to you about overcoming some typical problems in a business around creativity and innovation. So let me throw 4 at you to seek your expertise and comment. My 4 are: companies are too slow to bring innovation to market, which I suggest is also an indicator of their lack of agility. Companies are too slow to adapt with an often, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it mentality. Companies like their safety box and discourage thinking outside the box. And companies are slow to adapt to trends and often do it too late and too poorly, whereas they could have prospered from early bird market entry. What's your thoughts on the 4, and how does your CPS process outlined in these books, particularly here in Create Flash, help make the necessary changes?
Well, Malcolm, I'm going to refer to some of the work that we talked about in Create in a Flash, and I want to give you 2 sections of this. First, I want to talk about the role of leadership in this, because this all boils down to leadership. And I want to give you and our viewers and listeners an analogy. And so imagine that the organization that you lead is a clear blue mountain lake, all right? And you look out over the water, and what are you seeing? Now, if the surface of the lake is as smooth as polished glass, or are there some waves rippling up? Are there some bubbling going on there? Now, if it's as smooth as glass, there is a very good chance that lake is stagnant, okay? And the reason why that lake is stagnant is because you, as the leader, have become what we call a toxic leader. And as a matter of fact, in the book, we have this leader, a picture of a leader pouring a toxic waste into this beautiful lake. I think it's on page about 19 or 20 in there.
It's a great picture. I really like. Right?
And I told the illustrator, let's bounce that up, okay?
Because
I've got
true.
It. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, it's excellent. Yeah.
And so we made the contrast between a toxic leader and a healthy leader. And I'll give you a few examples of that. For example, a toxic leader is aloof. A healthy leader is approachable. A toxic leader avoids debate. A healthy leader explores dissent and differing views. A toxic leader avoids change. A healthy leader is open to new change.
Right.
And so a toxic leader is judgmental. A healthy leader is accepting and inclusive. And so a healthy leader is a toxic leader creates tension. A healthy leader fosters a supportive environment. And what we know about research on the field of creativity and innovation is that the leader is the single most important influence on whether an organization is going to be creative or not. And so that's part 1. The other thing is, and we talk about this in the book as well, is we talk about 40 years of lessons learned as far as the creativity business is concerned. And so one of the things is that we talk about, Malcolm, you've seen it. There's many companies that are out there that put innovation in their mission statement. Innovation. Yes. And that's as far as it goes, all right?
Yeah.
So if you're putting that in your mission statement, invest in your core principles. If you say you're innovative, then your people need to be innovative. And so 1, train your people. And I'm not saying weeks of creativity training, not even days of creativity training. We have some short programs now with the Open Sesame Learning Platform that are 5 minutes of beautiful videos. Create in a Flash is short. There's short chapters of this. I'm a big advocate of short hits, small techniques you can take and use. So train the leadership team first. Because if you don't train the leadership team first, what they're going to be is they are going to be process illiterate. So when somebody comes to the leader and says, hey, I have this idea I want to explore, if they haven't been trained in listening to new ideas, they're going to probably destroy the idea. Train the leadership team first. Yeah. Stick with it. And Malcolm, I'm sure you've experienced this. organizations will work on some sort of a project or an initiative. And after about a year or so, they say, well, we're really not getting much from this. Let's do another thing. And what that does is that trains people in their organization to keep their head down, because they know that this initiative is going to pass over, and then there's going to be another one, and then there's going to be another one, and then there's going to be another one.
Yeah. I particularly find that in public sector, by the way. You know, or even our academics, you know, and I went to one university in Manchester about changing some modules, and they said, oh, well, the elbow patch people over there, as they call them, you know, it says they take about a year to change a few words. Well, you know.
Well, that has also been my frustration with universities, which is why I've been part-time at the university since 1996. So yes, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Let's not go there. We've got lots of academics watch.
And so then I think the other thing, and there's a couple more that we can talk about, is one, be an example of what you want. I mean, as a leader, you need to struggle with ideas. You need to, and then finally, and this has been my whole thing, is keep it simple. Keep it simple. And Malcolm, as you've mentioned in Creating a Flash, that was the whole initiative. Keep it simple, make it interesting. And my motto has been, keep creativity simple, keep it practical, help people to apply it in their worlds.
Excellent. Excellent. Thanks, Roger. Now, let me remind the audience for the last time of your URL, your website, which is, and obviously viewers, you can see it on the screen behind me, but for listeners, let me spell this out again to you. It's all the W's, and then it's Roger Fire, and I want you to remember how to spell this last bit, that Firestien, STIEN.com. Now, Roger's two books, I've got featured across the trilogy. This one, Creating a Flash, and this one, Why Didn't I Think of That, are both published by Green Tractor Publishing. Throughout this trilogy, Dr. Roger Firestien has talked persuasively about the need for a company to be competitive through authentic encouragement of creativity leading to innovation. We've also discussed why many don't do it or are too slow at it, and they miss market opportunity. Get Roger's books, follow him, implement his thinking, and you'll soon see why my own mantra of no problems, only opportunities works. Thanks, Roger, for a great trilogy.
Malcolm, thank you. It's been my absolute pleasure.